With that, pass it over to Lance. Thank you.
Just so you know, I miss your pop-up concerts that you have.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
Stay tuned. There will be more soon. Social media, email,
Like which one?
word of mouth, all of it.
THV or Lance?
Both. I've been thinking while the world is so blue, people can be so angry, and if I could, I would take it from you. But no, not me. I've got troubles of my own. This is all that life asks of me, and that I won't leave you alone. Why time won't slow down, tired of being the upbeat. All will tumble down, seeking what will leave us empty. Why don't we cry? On the outside we just lie, on the inside we're so blue, hanging on to temporary life. I'm tired, so tired of me, and I'm tired of you and this sea. The depths of our depravity, drowning someone to rescue, please. But no, not me. I've got troubles of my own. This is all that life asks of me, that I won't leave you alone. Why time won't slow down, I'm trying to be the upbeat, and all will tumble down, seeking what will leave them empty. Why don't we cry? On the outside we just lie, on the inside we're so blue, hanging on to temporary life. Let us reach for one another, let us serve our humble brothers. Whatever your color, I will reach out to you. Come on, strengthen your arms, steady your weak knees, and make level path for your feet. Hang on. Live on, live strong, live well, and help others. Live on, live strong, live well, and help others. Lift up your head, take a look around. There's plenty to love. That was an original song titled "Hang On, Live on the Satisfaction album. So THV Satisfaction is where you can find that song, which was released last year. Yes.
That's what he meant.
No, that's what I was hoping, but I wasn't sure.
Let's see. Yeah. This will help so I don't have to try to talk too loud. There we go. And one more thing. Two more things. Bottle, iPad.
Where's the camera on this new thing? Where,
It's the same. It's the phone.
oh, it's,
Mhm.
okay.
I'll show you later.
I think you pushed the button, right?
I did.
We have a new camera thing.
So our talk today is called A Father's Business. And the last time I spoke was on Mother's Day, actually. And the title was Wisdom is Vindicated by Her Children. And the main point of that talk was that wisdom, synonymous with universal awareness, which is also the sacred feminine, is the archetypal mother of life and the role model for motherhood. And in this talk, A Father's Business, the main point would be that the sacred masculine, synonymous with universal consciousness, is the archetypal father and role model of fatherhood. And together they are the image of energetic balance throughout the universe. And it happens that today is also the solstice, which is important because, yeah,
Yay!
it's important because the sun is the masculine aspect of the heavens, with the moon being the feminine aspect. And we are reminded that everything, because of all of this that I'm saying, we're reminded that everything requires balance in our universe and on our planet and in our relationships. And one thing that I think we oftentimes forget is that relationship is with self first. We instantly think outward because of that word relationship. We forget that our first or paramount relationship is with the self. And we forget that self is far greater than the self sitting in your chair. Self is community, meaning common unity, community. And we've forgotten that there is no separation of self in this chair and self, common unity, the community. In reality, there is the one and only I am. So all of the things about sacred masculine, it being universal consciousness, sacred feminine, being universal awareness, that is conscious awareness, sacred conscious awareness, which we are all expressions of that one thing. This recognition leads us to the acknowledgement that together, sacred masculine and sacred feminine, consciousness and awareness, as true father and true mother, reflected in the sun and the moon, and reflected in a more fixed dimension as what we call man and woman on earth, are the image of energetic balance as universal identity, which is inseparable from human identity. Or said another way, human identity is inseparable from universal identity. I'll say that again. Personal identity is inseparable from universal identity. And so we have the political definition of identity, but we're not talking about that here, okay? I am clearly stating that the political definition of identity is false. It's another psyop on this planet to keep us divided instead of recognizing the truth that we all are born of and from. So, personal identity is a microcosm of the macro, then, like a program or software being run, or like an algorithm that has its own unique function and purpose. It still answers to the programmer. Yeah? Unlike programs, though, humans can experience a very unique, special characteristic. We are not only the created, the Creator is one with us, experiencing through us. And in a sense, we can reverse engineer conscious awareness. This is something that humans can do. So we can sit here in our tiny state of mind, our tiny self, and we can reverse engineer and go back to the infinite. We slap a word on it and we call it meditation. If you're lucky enough, you actually meditate and experience this thing, though, okay? So this is where the rubber meets the road. It's like, oh, we think we're something called spiritual. Are we experiencing universal consciousness, or are we just still stuck in our chair as little old me with all the baggage I want to bring and ego stuff, shadow stuff? And it's part of the dance of doing and being. So it's not good or bad, right or wrong. It's just what we're doing, and hopefully we can see that love is holding it all. Love is holding it all together. And that's what sacred parenting ultimately is about. So the Creator is one with us, experiencing through us, and we can reverse engineer conscious awareness because we are sons and daughters of the great sacred founder and programmer, which we have so ignorantly called God. And I say ignorantly called God because it just is a way of saying we have so much cultural baggage with that three-letter word. We've forgotten what it, he, she really is. In John chapter 10, verse 34, Jesus reminded us that we are gods. And this is a thing that I think it's ironic that Christianity doesn't really want to talk about, but Jesus did. In the biblical literature, God is oftentimes referred to as a father, so I've compiled a brief list of canonical, apocryphal, and pseudepigraphal references. And I'll explain as we go. Let's see, I had several slides for the song and decided to just sing it to you and have you enjoy it that way. But here's the Old Testament. Canonical references. Canonical simply means the accepted collected collection. The accepted collection is the canon of the Old Testament. Deuteronomy 32:6. Is he not your father who created you, who made you and established you? One of the clearest explicit references to the sacred parent, which we have called God as creator father in the Torah, which is another word for Old Testament. Okay, and with respect to our cultural baggage, I'll try to maybe offload some of it, okay? That when we talk about this he, we're talking about sacred masculinity, right? Is he not your father who created you? Is not sacred consciousness the one that has created space for your existence? Who made you and established you? Allows your beingness to exist. This is the nature of sacred consciousness. Okay? Isaiah 64:8. But now, O Lord, you are our Father. We are the clay, and you are our potter, and all we are the work of your hand. But now, O Great One, the great I am, you are our sacred consciousness. We are the clay, and you are the potter, and all we are the work of your hand. Combines fatherhood with the creator-potter metaphor. In Malachi 2:10, have we not all one Father? Has not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously with each other? Emphasizes universal fatherhood of the sacred parent, which we have called God. So, to do a little unpacking with Malachi 2, have we not all one sacred consciousness? Has not one great I amness created us, living through us? Why do we deal treacherously with one another? So then we have these descriptive references of sacred parent as father. Psalm 68, verse 5, a father of the fatherless and a judge for the widows is God in his holy habitation. Describes God's role as protective father. So this could be a healing point for us to get through this slide, because we start to understand the sacred characteristics of sacred masculinity, sacred fathering, which is that energy that holds all things, a father of the fatherless. And this is important to me because when a man chooses to get in touch with his sacred masculinity, he starts to see fathering opportunities everywhere. A father of the fatherless and a judge for the widows. My mom, in this three-dimensional experience, is a widow. We live in a world where to be a widow has notions of being alone, maybe needing to be, looked after, helped, supported, maybe taken advantage of, and therefore they need a judge. It just means someone who will stand for them. This is what God is in his holy habitation, his sacred residence. Where is God's sacred residence? Are there any thoughts, ideas?
Inside.
Inside. That's exactly it. That means this sacred masculinity is just as much a part of you, whether you're male or female, as it is me. The sacred residence, the holy habitation, is in you. So when you disrespect another human, you're disrespecting the holy habitation. When you judge negatively another human, you are judging the holy habitation, the sacred temple of God. And this is how our sacred universe works. This is why Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. It's a simple way to avoid all the karmic results you will set up for yourself, all the karmic consequences by not treating people fairly, which is, remember the previous one was Malachi. Why do we deal treacherously with one another? It's because we've forgotten the sacred I am, which I am. I have forgotten the sacred I am, which I am. Might be a slogan that every one of us could wear, I have forgotten the sacred I am, which I am. And therefore, sometimes I'm not safe to be around. Does this make sense? When I forget my sacred I amness, how can I treat you well? I can put on a mask to treat you well because I know that's what I should do and I should follow the rules and I should wear a smile and that's, pleasing to everyone around me. But if on the inside I'm not connected with my own self, remember that self relationship comes first. Another way that it's said in the book of Deuteronomy, and someone asked Jesus, what's the greatest commandment? And he said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And the translation comes down to love yourself, because you and God, that's the relationship of self. When you're not loving yourself, you're not loving God. When you're not loving God, you're not loving yourself. How can you love your neighbor if you don't have that first relationship in order? It is a big deal, because we say I love you to people, but we haven't mastered self-love first of all. Or maybe we think, or have convinced ourselves that we have self-love until we look in the mirror and make all sorts of judgments about our face and what blemishes we have, and maybe that needs a nip or a tuck, or God, I'm sagging today, or whatever. Come on, where's the love? Where's the appreciation? Where's the self-respect? Where's the self-honor? Here's Psalm 103. As a father pities his children, so the Lord pities those who fear him. Ooh, let's unpack this one. A father should pity his children, yes. The Lord pities those who fear him? Okay, let's talk about the word fear. It actually translates to respect and honor, which goes back to that whole self-relationship thing, because I should have that self and honor here with myself. So this word fear brings a context that just isn't what the text is actually trying to say. God doesn't want your fear. God adores your reverence, your adoration, your honor, which you would have in connection to God and with yourself at the exact same place and time.
What about pity? What does that define that?
Thank you for pity. Has compassion. Yeah. Compares God's compassion to human fatherhood. Proverbs 3:12, for whom the Lord loves, he chastens, just as a father the son in whom he delights. Chasten or chastise, it's a way of saying to discipline, it's a way of saying to create the boundaries, create the rules. Yes, children need this, but it's not out of judgment, it's not out of making someone subordinate, it's not out of dictatorship or something like that. Describes discipline as an act of fatherly love. What's the definition of the word love? What'd you say?
I said, that's a big one.
That's a big
what I was
one.
gonna say. It's big.
Just to keep it short, I'll say everything we've discussed so far about the union or the marrying of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, and how there's this honor and this respect and this adoration and this unity, common unity, all of this is love. It's not an easy thing to define, but it is unified. It does bring things that seem very polar opposite together as one. This is love. Let's see what else. Hosea 11. When Israel, this one's going to be interesting. When Israel was a child, I loved him, and out of Egypt I called my son. I taught Ephraim to walk. I led them with cords of kindness. And I put the definition of the name Ephraim there so you could see. Double land, double fruit, twin land, fruitfulness to bring forth, to grow, to increase. Israel means those who will contend with God, wrestle with God. And remember, God is inseparable from I amness. Those who will contend with I amness, or true identity. This is the definition of the word Israel. In this third dimension, we're trying to make it about a group of people or a nation of people, but by the quantum nature and multidimensionality of the language, it means anyone who will face God and wrestle. This is Israel. They are sacred sons and daughters because they will look God in the face and have the audacity to wrestle for true identity, which is also in the face of the whole world, because the world is not interested in you having anything to say or to do with true identity, because that means this whole world system has to crumble as soon as you do that. This is why they are sacred people. I loved him. It's a them. I loved them. And out of Egypt. Egypt means, if you remember the story of Israel being in Egypt, that was the place of slavery. But it has more to do with a mental slavery. So out of Egypt, if anyone here would dare to wrestle with God, you are being called out of mental slavery to mental freedom, to recognize true I amness in yourself, to look in the mirror and see the reflection of God in you, and therefore the reflection of God in every human around you. And I taught Ephraim, which is to say, when you come out of Egypt, you learn what true abundance is all about. You learn what true prosperity is all about. You learn what true success is all about, which has to do with fulfillment and satisfaction, which is born from within, because that's where the kingdom of God is. Luke 17, verse 20 and 21. The kingdom of God is within you. This uses father-son language to describe God's relationship with Israel, those who are called out, those who will contend with God. And then I'll just briefly mention that there are so many other Semitic ancient writings that refer to God as Father. So many. You have the pseudepigraphal references, which are non-canonical Jewish texts like the Book of Enoch, which the canon does mention. There's a quote in the New Testament that comes directly out of the Book of Enoch. These are ancient Jewish writings not accepted into any major biblical canon except for the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. So the Ethiopian Bible has all of the non-canonical pseudepigraphal writings. Okay, I won't say too much more about that. The historical context supports the teaching that recognizing God as Father is not merely religious dogma, but an awakening to the inner sacred masculine principle of nurture, authority, and creation within every human being. Beyond the canonical Bible, and beyond the Apocrypha, and beyond the pseudepigrapha, several other ancient texts from the Near East, Egypt, and early Hellenistic Jewish literature refer to God or the divine as eternal Father, parent, or begetter. These texts often emphasize the generative, nurturing, and uncreated nature of the sacred masculine. And there's even in the Egyptian pyramid texts and coffin texts, there is father language. And I threw this in just because I thought it was fun. These are some of the oldest religious texts in the world. Father language, look at that. Adam, Atum, the creator, is frequently called the father of the gods and the self-generated one, he who came into being by himself. This is the nature of sacred consciousness, that which exists without a beginning and has no end. Adam. And the thing about names, when I work with my clients as a life coach, we look at their name because their name inscribes something prophetic about their nature and their experience on the planet. For example, are you familiar with the story of Moses? Mostly, yes? Okay. Moses, do you remember he had to escape the order of the Egyptian king to kill all the Hebrew babies, male, who were under the age of 3. So when he was born, his mom puts him in a basket that could float down the river. And his name means escaped by water, Moses. Oftentimes, when my client and I look at their name, we find these little stories that have popped up in their life, and it's connected to their name. You don't get to choose a name like Adam and not have a connection to sacred masculinity and the requirement to live by it. This is a big deal for the Adam Center. If you don't live by it, it's going to press you and squeeze you until you get it right. And if you don't get it right, you just might fall apart. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. We must honor the name we've been given because there's a sacred tone, a sacred frequency to that. And this is interesting because one thing that I'm working on in the new course that's going to be released into the IM University this week, we talk about language and how when words get flipped around to mean different things than their original, we create false realities. This is important because the universe has a language. The universe has a way of speaking. God has a way of speaking, and when God speaks, which is inseparable from God's thought, by the way. When God thinks, speaks, it creates automatically. So when we twist words in ways that the Creator didn't give the word that meaning, when we twist words from its original or sacred meaning, we create false reality, and we reap the consequences. This is a big deal because in English we do this all the time. I think I'll stop there on that one.
Can you give us an example?
He's trying not to.
Okay, we say love, but we mean possession. I love you means as long as you're here and are acting according to the things that make me feel best, I love you. That is not God's definition of the word. And we suffer because of that kind of attachment. No one can fulfill these weird expectations of yours. No one can. And so you suffer, and you cause them to suffer too. This concept of a self-generating father who creates by thought, bringing the concept of a creator father. The word is debar there. It means a word, a matter, a thing, to arrange, to lead, to guide, like flocks to pasture. It is the ongoing creative word that brings life into being. Unlike the Greek word logos, debar is inseparable from action. So, let's see, the text says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were created by the Word. And debar is the ancient Hebrew word for the Word. It's another way of saying there is a sacred language. It would really benefit us all to learn it and how it trickles down into English so we can use the words properly. All of this is a big task because what I'm saying about all of this is we're trying to get back to the characteristics of sacred masculinity, the first, the original, right? Sacred masculinity, it holds all things. I feel the pressure of it because I am a father on this planet, having to unlearn the ways that I learned and trying to move things forward and to help my children understand, and a father to the fatherless and a judge for the widow, choosing to use love as the noun it is rather than the verb my culture has taught me to use it as. I love you is a verb versus you are love is the noun. So my son drives away yesterday and he says, "Dad, you know what the real thing is?" And that's our way of saying, you are love. Love is the real thing. These texts collectively support the I Am University thesis that the concept of God as parent is not a Christian invention, but a universal ancient truth that has been obscured by religious theology and dogma. You don't need to look up to find a distant king or a distant parent. The child looks up to the parent. I'm speaking to you, the child. You don't need to look up to find a distant parent. The ancient texts from all over the world and throughout time point to the same truth. You are the child of the eternal Father, and the Father is waiting to be recognized within you. The seal of separation was never real. It was just a misunderstanding from the root word. It's a misunderstanding, and it has cloaked our whole culture, that there's this separation between you and the Father. There's a separation between you and the mother. And it's up to you to gain that understanding back, to stop the lie where it is. There is no separation. There's the appearance of separation because my father left, he was never around, and then he died when I was 14, and it just felt like he was gone again. And my mom was overbearing, and I didn't feel like I could talk to her about anything. So there's this appearance of separation from father and mother. So how am I supposed to relate? How am I supposed to relate? Like if this is my mirror, how am I going to relate with the person in this mirror? The Father's business is the Father's responsibility. And there's an interesting thing that Jesus said in the story. His family is on the pilgrimage back from a major annual feast and celebration in the sacred city of Jerusalem. And they can't find Jesus. Where is the boy? So they go back to town to find him, and he's in the temple. And he said, "Didn't you know I'd be about my Father's business?" And I just find it interesting that there was a time when sons would take over the father's business. And in a sense, the son becomes the father. So there's this text that I wanted to share. Okay, I think we can do this. Let me find it. What's the easiest way for me to do this? You know what? I can show you how to get there. So this project comes from Bible Redefined, which I've been working on for a very long time, lancehoward.net. You go I Am University, go down to Bible Redefined. There's a free library here. This image is how this image shows how different verses of the Bible are interconnected by name and number, chapters and verses that all speak about the same thing. And I describe what all that means here. But anyway, so here's the library, and now I'm gonna look for, what's the name of it? Jeez. I know it's in the book of Matthew, so I'm just doing a word search for Matthew to get there. And I know it's Matthew chapter 6. The Lord's Prayer. Click it, and then here's the document. Our Father. And let's see if I can zoom up a little bit. So, a very familiar prayer that we all know. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Okay, so if we want to try to do a little more work here on understanding what the Father is about and how we are connected to the sacred masculine, this prayer might be able to help us out a little bit. So I do this project because, as I think you can probably tell by now, there's a lot in the ancient languages that could really help us better understand the book. And it gets lost that the book predates Christian religion. So whatever issues we have with God and the Father and the way religion has told us, these are more modern problems than they are ancient problems. So I like to retranslate the passages to bring greater clarity to the interdimensional, multidimensional nature of the book. Okay, so you see verse 9. The top one is how it's typically translated, and now we'll have these 3 or 4 paragraphs that show you how they could be translated differently. So here's 9a, just the part that says, after this manner, therefore pray you, our Father which art in heaven. Okay, so this is how you pray. This is how you set your intention with purposeful thought. This is how you lay a snare for what you seek, what you choose and affectionately desire with devotion and patience and inspiration. This is how you create space for expanded possibility with the feeling of I can and the revealing of the next step. Parent of us all, who is in the realm of vibration, sound, light, energy, which vibrates without limit throughout the entire manifested cosmos, the fashioned and sacred order of all things in the universe. Your quality, character, essence, reputation is sacred. Your experience and the experience of you is divine and purposeful. This is our sacred Father. That's a mouthful. It's a mindful. But maybe we could sit with it and we could marinate into it. You could read it on your own time and just contemplate how vast, how wide, how deep. Here's another one. Okay, it's the same verse, but it could be translated this way. Parent of the universe, all potential is in you and comes to and through us on the waves of intelligent frequency, touching and bringing change to our world. May the experience of you become and remain our highest priority that we willingly clear space for and purposefully prepare the ground of our lives for with devotion. Or, another way, grand ancestor and founder of life, the one from whom breath enters being in all radiant forms. Your sound rings everywhere throughout the cosmos. Nourisher, protector, upholder who births unity, you vibrate life into form in each new instant, clearing holy space around your name as the center on which our life turns. Focusing your light within us, make it useful as the rays of a beacon show the way. That's just the intro. This is just, I'm just saying hi to the Father, right? And it's like, can you, yep. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We all know it. Here it is. It's actually feminine gendered. It's not kingdom at all. It's queendom. Your queendom, your creative power and passion be evident, be made evident. So the Father is not without mother, but it's been hidden. Sacred Feminine has been hidden and quieted because she is the creative power. She is the creative element behind consciousness. What is that? It is awareness. She is awareness. He is consciousness. Consciousness is still, but it is stable, and it is strong, and it supports and provides everything. And she goes, thank you, now I'm going to move and I'm going to create. Right? Yeah. Okay, so here's another way to translate that. Your domain is the determined, purposeful extension of power and authority. It's all wrapped in feminine genius, okay? Your territory is the sign of the creative word, the empowering vision and perfect counsel that guides in a new direction. Collectively, we can, and individually, I can. You are the quality of leadership and the ruling principles that guide our lives toward unity. May it arise and influence our world. And I always like to ask here, how is it going to rise? How is God's will going to be done on earth? Any thoughts?
Creative, sacred energy, pushing it forward and moving it.
Yes. And any other ideas? This is a yes, but I'm looking for something more specific. How? Who?
We, us.
We, us,
Everyone.
everyone.
Force.
Yes, 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 yes. So you have an invitation, child. The parent has invited you to participate in this creative process, for better or for worse.
Our purpose on earth. Each one of us has a purpose, a power that
Mhm.
we are here to push forward.
Mhm.
When we understand it and aware of it and know it,
That's it.
it's like lightning, like
Uh-huh.
a little
Uh-huh.
firecracker. Just go forward.
Yes. So at the beginning, when we said about the algorithm and how we are, each algorithm or software kind of has its unique expression, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Your determination, intention, love. So we're going from this, your will be done. Your will is your determination, intention, love, and delight become reality in this world, even as it is in the realm of vibration. Okay, so think about this. The determination, intention, the love, and delight of God already exists in the invisible realm. The power is already there. The frequency is already moving. It's already reverberating. And all we have to do is be receptive to the signal, and it will move through us. And there are parts of the signal that I naturally understand and gravitate toward that some of you don't, and vice versa, right? Which again goes back to my unique algorithm and how I exist in the world and how you do. But we know I amness is what's bringing our gifts together so that we come together. This is the common unity. This is the love. All of this vibration is constantly reporting that nothing is separate, everything is one. Let your desire and ruling principles guide us to unity, birthing the I am, I can, we can in our hearts. May your desire be our vision, bringing positive change everywhere we are. May your love stir sacred interaction and cooperation. Let your I can come through us. Create your reign of unity now. I like the play on words there. Desire a new vision through us. Unite our I can, your I can. Bring your empowerment here and now. May your purpose rise within and call us to attunement, alignment, coherence, and congruence as unity. Give us this day our daily bread. Okay, how could that go? On this very day, grant us the food of understanding which feeds a healthy sense of I am, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Grant us what we need today for the subsistence and insight of our growth. This word for food is also a feminine word. The name, okay, so Sacred Mother, her name is Hakma in ancient Hebrew. So when the word food or bread comes up, it is Lakma. Her name is Hakma. So you change one letter, you get bread. So when Jesus said, I am the bread of life, he's making a clear reference to the sacred feminine within him. I am the bread of life. What I'm offering you is going to nourish your truest sense of self. So when we read, give us this day our daily bread, you see how much more depth there is to this? He's saying a lot more than just make sure there's bread on the table. That's the 3D, and that's fine. But the dimensions just grow and grow. There's a lot for us to take in, and the sacred feminine is there to guide us. When King Solomon wrote about her, the whole book of Proverbs, most of that book is about the sacred feminine. When he writes about her, it says repeatedly how she offers wealth and riches and honor to her children. This is how she feeds their sense of self. And it's not just about money, right? love is the most abundant thing. I amness. Is there anything more abundant than or prosperous than I amness? It comes and goes. How many people have existed on this planet? How many, beings, let's just say how many beings have existed on this planet? This is pure abundance and pure prosperity. It keeps on happening and you can't stop it. It's so rich. Woo. Okay, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. This is big. Set us free from our energetic debts and offenses, our errors and mistakes, as we set free our debtors, offenders, and those who have made errors and mistakes against us, including mom and dad. Restore the awareness of our original state of clear, unburdened existence where we are free of hidden past, secret debts, stolen property, unripe inner fruit, frustrated hopes, tangled threads, and accidental offenses. Do this just as we consistently and regularly mend and restore our knotted relationships with a mutual release, like every breath we breathe in awareness of wholeness and stability. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Don't bring us into adverse trials and testing of fidelity, integrity, virtue, and constancy, but bring us out from the influences of vices, calamity, diseased character, malice, guilt, harm, corruption, tribulation, and intense desire. Have you ever been that honest with a parent? To say, I deal with vices and calamity, diseased character, malice, guilt, harm, corruption, tribulation, intense desire. The sacred parent is like here for all of that. And if you have children, the whole point of this is, are you able to offer this kind of capacity to your children, specifically sacred masculine? Can you do this? Will you do this? It's a huge burden, and it's a huge amount of love. And for the masculine to step into his sacred masculine takes a huge amount of healing and unlearning and admitting and death. It means taking on the burden that you would die. The Father would die, which was the image Jesus gave us. To die for the sins of the world is to say, maybe, just maybe, in this particular situation at least, I didn't do anything wrong, but I will take responsibility. This is sacred masculine. If the world's going to move forward, someone has to bear the burden and move it forward. I will take responsibility, and I will do what I can to move it forward. So, calling masculine beings who call themselves men, this is the true order of what you've been called to do. Help us out of the prison in which we are seduced by appearances. Assist us when we are led in the wrong direction by our own false ideas and illusions, which bring us to nothing more than emptiness, agitation, and diversion from the purpose of our lives. Free us from things that immerse us in seductions, material appearances, and forgetfulness. Guide us away from the matrix of mistakes and inappropriate actions that delay us and bring inner shame because of our failure to produce what we should. What should we produce? Right action at the right time and place, which has to do with purpose and peace. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Because you are the one, and yours is the fully formed extension of power. Determined and purposeful, you are the creative word, the empowering vision and counsel that rules by its ability to express the most obvious next step in a new direction, collectively and individually. You are the quality, or is the quality of rulership and the ruling principle that guides our lives towards unity. Amen. So be it, and it is. Truth. Maybe I'll stop there. You can read the rest. I showed you how to get there, or if you ask me or text me, I can send you the direct link to it. So what if we had this experience where, with our fathers, we knew it was absolutely safe to be everything that we are in the moment? Confess our problems, our issues, ask for help, get direction, feel nothing but full acceptance. And the Sacred Father, Sacred Masculine, okay, we're talking, universal, right? Is crying to you saying, that's exactly what you have. But without your willingness to look at your own self, you won't dare come and share with me, right? Because the confession is the self-realization also. And there's this balance of like, okay, I'm in this human form, and with that has come so many burdens and things. And I also have this universal identity, the true I am of me. And how do I bring the two? How do I bring the little version of me to the big version of me? It's up to you to figure that out, because this is your journey. You are the hero, right? The hero's journey is about how you get from A to Z. A to Z. How do you do it? Have you sensed the timeless, the spaceless, the infinite that would make it eternal? Have you known that you are one with that? Have you experienced that? Have you felt your unity with that? Can you just, at the drop of a hat, can you see that? Because when you go there, there is an experience. Okay, I'll tell you. One thing, again, so many things I want to say. Just, Jesus said, to see the kingdom of God, you must be born again. Let me tell you, the word born again, it like how I said Hakma is the name of wisdom, but food is Lakma. The word for born again is a reflection of the word that means beginning. Bereshit is beginning. And when he said born again, you take the B off of Bereshit and it's just Reshet. So he's saying born again. He's saying you must return to the beginning to be born again. The beginning of what? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. You must return there. That's that timeless, spaceless, interdimensional, pure moment of power where God said, let there be light, and pow. You can go back there, was what Jesus was referring to. And so if you're not going, now I'm encouraging you, go. It's wired in you. It's in your DNA. You are created in the image of God. That means you have the raw power of conscious awareness. You can go back to the beginning. And all you have to do is take a few breaths, relax yourself, close your eyes, turn off the phone, and just sit with it. Just be there. It may not happen the first time or the second time or the third time because you're so out of touch. You've so forgotten who you are. But just a little practice, and before you know it, you can go there in an instant, and you'll know, I'm at the moment of pure creation. What would I like to create? It might break you down a bit, which means there's some baggage you got to leave behind that maybe you're not ready to, but you could do a little thing. You could go, okay, I'm just going to put all my baggage under my chair for now. It's with me. It's not going to go anywhere. No one's going to take it. Okay. Now I'm going to go. And when I'm done, I might pick up my baggage and I might not. But that experience brings the refreshing, the born again. Oh, I don't even need that anymore, is the feeling going to the beginning brings. This is your human birthright. This is your sacred masculinity, which is always coupled and married to your sacred femininity. This is the sacred nature of parenting. King David said, when my father and mother in this world forsake me, the great I am will take me up. The great father and mother, the true I amness. So we all have to go through this burden of our earthly parents just to realize we got to let it go so we can move up. Okay, I don't think I have anything else to say about it. Any thoughts, questions? Maybe 5 minutes or so? It's 4:05.
I wanted to comment on love.
Mhm.
So one of my new recently definition of it is love. When I say that I love something, to me, it is a frequency of some joy, contentment, happiness, that has created whatever I say I love.
Mhm.
And that is a connection. So like, I love coffee. Okay, I have a frequency with coffee that I enjoy that gives me a great sense of peace and happiness and contentment. And so, to me, when I love something, it's a frequency for me.
Mhm.
And that, I like that
Mhm.
in my own little.
Yes. Well, yes, yeah.
So I think of love like a fish thinks of water. Like, does the fish know where he is and what's going on?
Mhm.
It's all right there.
Mhm.
And I look at myself and I say, I believe that I'm in a fishbowl of water. All I have to do is breathe, and it's here. I don't have to explain it. I don't have to take it apart. I just need to accept
Right.
and swim freely,
Mm.
flow freely in this love.
In this love, that's right. There is a parable of the fish in one of those pseudepigraphal writings where the young fish talk to each other and they talk about there's a wise fish who knows what water is. So they go on this journey to find the wise fish. And when they finally make it, the wise fish says, do you not know that in water you live and breathe and have your being? Which the New Testament says something similar. Anyway, there's just a group of Greek philosophers who have a statue in Athens. There's a statue to the unknown God, and one of the early followers of Jesus says it is in God that you live and breathe and have your being. Yeah. And that is love. So interesting, there are 3 words in Greek for love. You guys know phileo. Philadelphia is the city of love. You maybe have heard of agape. And then there's, what's the third one? Eros, thank you, yes. Which is more on the romantic and passionate side of love. So in English, we think of love, we think of one type of thing, but other languages could see that there are options here, So it's up to you to do this work in your own life. How will I talk about love? If I want to make an ultimate connection to the ultimate thing, I'm going to maybe use a different word than I would pizza. That might be a good idea because love is the eternal universal. I don't think I want to attach that to pizza. But no judgment, right?
Or ice cream.
No judgment, that's up to you. And just remember, your words have power. So how you use the word is going to do things in your world. That's all I can say about that. Any other thoughts? Yeah.
Without women, there is no birth. Without a mother, a man cannot be, and a man cannot become a father without a woman.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And she does all the work, pretty much.
Yes.
Well, the birthing part, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's one other thing I'll say that is related to your comment about women being everything. The sacred feminine is everything. Just like we're calling the men to sacred masculinity, we're calling the women into their sacred femininity, which is wisdom, right? I was talking about her name is Hakma. She is wisdom, knowledge, discernment, discretion. That means all of the variety is right before her eyes. She sees it all, and she knows how to choose and pair the things together, and it's amazing, right? You can see it. If you just look around, it's happening all the time with you feminine types. You take note of everything, and yeah.
Yes, we do.
Now, how will you use that with its sacred touch? You know, because it can be perverted. This is the power of being human, is we can do all these things for better or for worse. But when wisdom speaks in Proverbs 8, she was there in the beginning, and King Solomon is writing this, by the way, which I always find it fascinating that a king wrote about the sacred feminine and had so much to say about how incredible she is. And she says, I was there at the beginning of creation, and my heart is for mankind. And something about before the mountains were made and before the stars were laid out, he had to have me right away, which just indicates that father and mother, masculine and feminine, the passion is there. Masculine knows he can't do anything without her. And so there's this respect, and there's this reverence, and there's this calling, and there's this bonding, and there's this glorious unity. And since you're here, you are the result of that. It's in you. It's in you. And you haven't known, or you haven't fully believed it, or you accept some parts of it, but not all of it. And you have the spark. Now, will you use it fully? Thanks for being here. And let's see, I just want to tell you that I Am University. All of these things are being discussed. Bible Redefined, the full library is there. It's .net. First Thursday, we do the Tribe of I Am dinner. Second Thursday, we do Tribe of I Am Rites of Passage. Third Thursday, we do the Wisdom Circle, which is for the Sacred Feminines. Fourth Thursday, we do the Gravity Circle, which is for the Sacred Masculines. All of that is 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Thursdays. The new single just released called Emergence. It released on June 12th. So you can search THV Emergence on your favorite music streaming platform.
How do you buy that? You download it through Spotify or?
You can download it through iTunes or Apple Music, I
I can't figure out
think.
how to get it to my phone.
Okay.
I gotta figure it out. I have it
If
on my
anyone
music.
uses,
Went right into it, yeah.
okay, talk to Laurel, she's got it. Okay, that's all, thank you.
Thank you, Ann.
Was there something else?
Where do you have these dinners?
It's right here in the rooms over here, yep. Was there anything else you wanted to say?
D-
The dinner is the first Thursday,
Oh, I see, so the rest of them are just meetings.
Mhm.
snacks or something.
yes. Anything you want to say?
I don't think so.
Okay.
If anyone is new to Adam and would like to get our Wednesday emails that I do. Put your name in there. I don't know if you ladies would like to be added to the list. And I think everybody else is on. And so, gonna maybe,
Take us out.
yeah, play us
Oh,
out.
I can play another song. Yeah, if you'd like.
Why not?
Sure. Let's see. Maybe I'll play you an acoustic version of the new song.
Yes.
Yeah, do this. You wrote that too, right?
Yes.
You're a very busy guy.
There's a lot happening. Things are not the way they used to be. Things I hear I do not choose to see. They try to tell me who I should be, but I don't think so. Things are not the way I pictured them. The way they're going is not how I choose to live. I feel a new world emerging. How do I let go of what I think I know? Though darkness surrounds, new life can be found. Can I change my mind to see it through? Everything might change, but my heart can rearrange to see that you are me and I am you. Moving forward has not been easy. Healing the past has brought me to my knees. The American dream has failed me. Now create my own. No one told me about this fatal disease. That innocence died through messed up priorities and policies. Who am I and what am I supposed to do about this pain between me and you? Courage seems to say that love creates a way to mend all the damage that's been done. Will my pride get in the way of the tide and the change? It's coming to make things right here and now. I felt busted, disgusted, broke, sick and tired. But the vision I have keeps growing higher and wider. I know the journey isn't worth it. I won't give up. If you feel these things inside just like me, true success is a life of purpose and true identity. So fullness of heart is what we must choose. Who am I? What am I here to do? Will I follow my heart, or into the trap will I fall of keeping up with the Joneses? What can be true in a world that's always marketing to you? You're not enough, something's wrong with you. You need more. I am you, and you are me. I am, you are, and that is true identity. We are one, we are free. We are the one. I am you, and you are me. I am, you are, and that is true authority. We are one, we are free. We are, I am. That's it. Thank you.
So Lance, it's sacred feminine and the sacred masculine, women only, men only, or do we all come?
Women and men only. There will be some co-ed meetings coming up, but for now they're separate.
Okay.
Yes, good question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice presentation.